Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested in migrate to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Alright, we are gonna share a news which has came out 2 days ago. The reason I haven't updated yesterday because yesterday the state of New South Wales has announced their opening for their new financial year's state nomination. So I thought just to skip 1 day should be fine because this is not urgent, but it still will affect a lot of people coming in 2025. So again, this is going back to the international education sector, noticing that a lot of people has experienced and suffer a lot during 2020. It's just not a year for Study Australia, despite there has been a lot of promote all around the world. But as I have foreseen and as I had told you a couple months back, since the first time that the Minister of Education Jason Clare came out and claimed the Goes to School, and all of this is all a bundle of procedures has just needed to go through. Despite there has been a lot of criticisms and the members of different or stakeholder from international education sector came out complaining, blaming and talking about all the craps, but as I have foreseen, this will definitely go through and be enforced because we have seen 2 weeks ago that the Canada has actually put more restriction and have passed more restriction upon international educations. So why wouldn't Australia do it? Now, if we look at in the biggest scope, looking into the entire the world of study abroad, I think it's a procedure just to level up for all the English-speaking countries upon their quality of education. So UK is doing it, Canada's doing it, Australia's doing it, New Zealand's doing it, and I believe United States of America is also doing it as well. So if they were doing it together, they will actually level up the quality of internationals and also weed out a lot of abusers who are actually using student visa to do what? Working to get their jobs in those countries in order to actually make money rather than actually have the true intention to study. And you may as well know and have seen so many in the past 10 years. So I believe, back in a couple months back or even last year when they talked about the Go School, this will be the ultimate procedure to actually go through. So there was no doubt, but despite this has been a lot of talks and universities groups came out, the VET group has came out, criticized the so-called cap on international students. However, it's already passed. It's being accepted by the Senate committee. They thought the hearings was a lot of putting into a lot of complaints. Then the government of Australia could actually overhaul and pause the cap on international students. However, as you can see, this came out 2 days ago, 9th of October. International student cap win the Senate committee support, but it comes with conditions. So there was a little bit of change. That's what it actually meant. So what's going to happen is that they will enforce and to level up the quality of education and put it in the playing field. So let's dig into a little bit of detail on this news article, and then we'll explain a little bit of what my thought would be. So the cap on international student accepted will be legislated several amendments according to the Senate committee. So there's no overhaul, there's no pause, there's no cancellation or whatever. So the Minister of Education Jason Clare basically had got this through. Will be assessed with government proposed limit on the student numbers, and we going back, there was a limitation on putting on the 270,000 in 2025, whereby 145,000 will be on public university. 95,000 will be the on the vet sector. Now that's not many, despite we're talking about they are TAFEs or in different states and territories, and numbers of shared by numbers of private vet colleges. So there's currently 4,000, but I think. My prediction, at least probably 1/3 and towards half of this private international student accruing vet sectors or vet institutions will be closing down. So I don't think they will survive this wave. The remaining 30,000 will go for others, So what's at the time Claire announced the scrap of Ministerial Direction 107. Now, what is Ministerial Direction 107? It's basically how they prioritize framework student visa approval provider level risk. Now, I want to say something about this one. Now, even though they gotta scrap the direction number 107. Now that doesn't mean the student visa application will be easier. Now currently they're putting in priority, means if you're a school sector, they will assess as quick as possible. If the provider level is lower, they will take more time to assess it. So a lot of people had applied for some private colleges and waited for 1 year or something, and then what they have received is a refusal as well. Now, if we are gonna remove that priority framework, what will actually happen? Now, removing priority framework does not mean removing the genuine student test, because the genuine student test will still be there. The priority will be removed. That means every single application will be lodged and they'll be queued up evenly. So that means previously we have seen a student visa application lodged for a vet sector waiting for 1 year. Now, once that's been removed, you probably don't need to wait for 1 year. You probably only wait for about 3 months, and still you're still likely to get rejected because the genuine student test is still there. So just to add on to that, so it doesn't mean the student visa application will be easier, especially when they put enforcement on cap. That means starting from 2025, a lot of international students, if your background is not good enough, you probably don't even get an offer from university or a TAFE or a private colleges. So that's basically what is gonna happen there. So fewer university got a lot more international students. Look, you're talking about the imbalance about how many international students a particular university or particular campus actually get. Now, it will always be an imbalance there. They are larger university, they are smaller private colleges there. But what they're gonna do is they're gonna control the number and giving out more of the regional campuses or regional education provider, a way to actually attract more international students. However, I must say this now. Those campuses or education providers in regional Australia, you still need to level up the quality of the services. Because, for example, we have seen some of the regional education provider came to us and looking to promote their courses, but the service that they provided is just so bad. For example, I'm not gonna name them, but some of them is they just respond too slow. A client comes to you, wanted to put in admissions to study such and such a course in your campus, and you respond back in a month or two. No one's gonna take it. And plus the actual on-site services, if it's still the quality is still not there, look, the client, ultimately the international student, will still go away. They probably, if they cannot choose the best to go, they will go elsewhere. They probably just don't want to come to Australia. So still the quality of services required to be upgraded for those regional campuses or regional education providers there. Obviously there are education sectors that are talking about the warning up capital economic impact. Now it's definitely going to be an impact, because if they're going to weed out all these ghost colleges, of course there are still people being employed under those so-called the ghost colleges. So if ghost colleges go down, those people will lose their jobs, so that will also of course impact of the economy. So I believe that the government of Australia is already foreseeing such impact, and the impact is acceptable and it's foreseeable, and they still want to go ahead in order to actually keep the quality and services of Australia education. So anyway, there's going to be a little bit of a recommendation amendments there. They don't allow the government to actually put in on caps on particular courses, but that's really very, very minor. Is there a secrecy or unfairness? Well, there will be for sure, and there's never been a playing field of fairness, but because the industry has, to be honest, in fact, those private colleges has been operating out there for so many years, and the fact that they have giving out so many visas in order to allow these people to actually work in Australia is a fact there as well. And also the other fact that I raised last video was the fact that a group of Australian university has formed up a group and invest into IDP, which is to accommodate and also conduct the education brokerage with a competition against all the other education agents. Now, is this fair? Now, talking about fair, is this fair? Of course, it's not fair. It's not on the playing field. So obviously, it's not fair as well. So how would this cap will actually be affected to these courses and also providers? I think it will come to a pretty good shake-up, and it won't come for short term. I believe still it's going to be a medium term that says will at least be about 2 to 5 years. So all these shake-ups will actually change the world of international education. So anyway, should you really choose Australia as a study destination for 2025, watch out. You gotta get this in your mindset, so you don't blindly lodge or being taken by an agent and lodge for a visa and lost all your money and fees and times. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below. And I'll see you next video. Goodbye.